I love this crowd. It seems apropos that I speak here today because it's here that I started speaking in protest against CNN during that rally led by Eden McFadden. We've been up against a lot as Bernie Sanders supporters. There was a media blackout. Where were they?
Fuck CNN!
It was here that I publicly proclaimed to join the movement because my parents lost their jobs and their hard-earned home in the Great Recession. And I was powerless to help them because of my own crippling student debt. And I took that stand against Wall Street, and I said it then and I'll say it again here. May Wall Street feel the burn. Everyone standing here today was born with a rebel heart, beating against injustice and strengthened by empathy. That's what this was about. Heart. The injustices we suffer are systematic, and they're written into law. Many of the atrocities and scandals in our country are legal. Written into legality by corporate pragmatists who wish to exploit us and injure us, condition us, pacify us, jail us, exhaust us, bleed us, dishearten us, disorient us, divide us. And when we push back and when we unite against all of that, well, we can call that cardio. And our hearts will grow stronger. What isn't right, what is exploitative, what is injurious, we must fight to make illegal. I'm talking predatory lenders. I'm talking Citizens United. I'm talking TPP. I'm talking fracking. There is a feeling out there, and I get it. Many of you are saying that when the Democrats leaned right, we left. I get that. I felt it myself in many of my grievances and what we're here to express today and to correct within the party. I agree that it's a lot of work, but I think it can be worth it if what we're talking about today is accompanied by action. Party protectionism only serves to be exclusive. And when record low numbers of self-identifying Democrats are in the 20% range, I think they might want to take a better look at what they're doing. If the Democrats want to become a country club that too few of us can afford, well, they might want to look at maybe becoming a little more inclusive. And I get a lot of criticism that says, oh, we're hurting the Democratic Party. Well, I have an answer to that. If our party cannot hold up to scrutiny, if it buckles under the weight of criticism, if it cannot weather the rigorous democratic process, then that should give us pause. And when we're done pausing, we must snap to and work. Thomas Edison once said opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. Well, we have much work to do. Work to infiltrate Democratic clubs in the city, and work to become card-carrying members, and pay the small monthly dues, which allows us to have our say, and work to amplify our progressive voice within those clubs. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, if 50 people walked into that club that was playing REO Speedwagon on repeat, and a crowd this size walked in, whose party is it now? And we'll call up our Green Party people, and we'll call up our liberal independent people, and we'll ask them to form a joint party, a coalition. And we should welcome their playlist because you better believe we'll be changing the tune. We'll be moving to a brand new beat, and our hearts will be pumping. And I want to take this opportunity now to thank the National Nurses United for giving the Democratic Party. I want to thank them for giving the Democratic Party's more progressive wing a shot of adrenaline it's so desperately needed. Are we feeling revitalized today? We are fighting for For the heart of the Democratic Party, the heart is the people, and the party is in desperate need of new blood. For whatever reason, too many of our leaders have grown weary and have given up their fighting spirit. They are now but vestiges of yesterday's social and socioeconomic progress. Still deserving great admiration, perhaps, or respect, are John Lewis, Dolores de la Huerta, Barbara Boxer, Howard Dean. I want to say, you know what? Thank you for the progress you fought for and created yesterday, and all the accolades you acquired for us yesterday. But the arena doesn't allow us to rest upon our laurels today, and we are uniting for a better tomorrow. You know, every now and then they throw us a bone. I love that Harriet Tubman will be featured on the $20 bill. I'm a strong supporter of this courageous woman who risked her life to achieve not only her dream, but the same exact dream for others in her time. She will be remembered and revered that way, and it's long overdue. But that doesn't solve child hunger. And it doesn't fix income inequality. And it doesn't create pay equity for women. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote about symbolic gestures of social progress. He warned that we should not allow symbolic gestures to substitute for actual social progress. A vote cast for Hillary is not simply a vote against Trump. It is an identity politics vote based on symbolic gestures of social progress. After all, what message, what platform did she run on? We're the branch of the party with a message. We're the branch of the party with a platform that helps people and improves the livelihoods of the lower and middle class. You know, while our nation was asleep, injustices have risen. So tell me, Los Angeles, are we awake now? Are we awake regarding big pharmaceuticals jacking up prices of life-saving drugs? Are we awake regarding our gutted voter rights? Are we awake regarding how bought our congressional leaders are? Are we awake regarding the spread of fracking? Our poisoned water? Hoarded wealth of the elites? Insurance lobbyists blocking our right to health care? Busting up of our unions? Sounds to me like we are waking up and we gotta stay awake. I've been asked to play this game of the lesser of two evils. You may, they've asked me to make my choice in the general if it comes down to Trump and Clinton. This choice is about as morally sound as asking that I pick my middle class poison. Trump may have a blatantly awful taste, and you know it, but I bet it works fast. Clinton may be a nearly undetectable, but she's tasteless. And as you well know, she's slow to act, and it's agonizing. So make no mistake, we suffer from either poison with little hope for the more vulnerable among us. And you are not obliged to swallow anything you despise. Sounds to me that these poisons need a little antidote, and that's called progressivism. Can our votes be won by symbolic gestures of social progress? My vote cannot. I would like to address those who aim to divide us. I'd like to speak now to the people like Republicans, nationalists, and the Joan Walshes of our world. Unity is not won by divisive talk or fraudulent outrage. Unity cannot be won while they try to bury us. If I may, I would like to borrow from a Mexican proverb. They tried to bury us, they didn't know that we were seeds. They tried to block us out of the media, they didn't know we were seeds. They tried to suppress our votes, they didn't know that we were seeds. They tried to defraud our elections, they didn't know that we were seeds. They tried to invalidate our candidate. They didn't know we were seeds. They tried to deny us our union leadership at the DNC. They didn't know we were seeds. They tried to deny us our progressive platform. They didn't know we were seeds. They tried to strip us of our right to health care. They didn't know we were seeds. Strip us of our living wage. They didn't know we were seeds. Bury us under TPP. They didn't know we were seeds. Cut our mics. They didn't know we were seeds. Ignore our motions on the floor. They didn't know we were seeds. Paint us as violent and irrational. They didn't know we were seeds. Beat us with canes. They didn't know we were seeds. Divide us. They didn't know we were seeds. Well, I tell you what, this branch of the party is replete with seeds, and I'm not sure the party can bear its weight. I foresee that this seed-laden branch will break off and grow new, healthier trees. In fact, unity can't be won. It must be earned. So don't tell me to fall in line. You want to talk about falling in line? I fall in line behind the likes of Nina Turner, Tulsi Gabbard, Nomiki Konst, Erica Garner, Harry Belafonte, DeRay McKesson, Linda Saussure, Tim Canova, Lee Fay, Keith Ellison, Bill McKibben, Cornel West, Zephyr Teachout, Lucy Flores, Pramila Jayapal, Bao Wynn, Simone Sanders, Aaron Brockovich, Roseanne Damara, and the listless names and faces of the revolution, and all you standing here today. I joined this revolution because there is a candidate in the fray carrying with him the ideas, language, integrity, and battle flag of Martin Luther King Jr., of Cesar Estrada Chavez, and Eleanor and Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So to all the Ms. Joan Walshes and conservatives, they can use our diversity to illustrate the various planks that structure together and form a bridge. But you cannot splinter us and use our racial, cultural, sexual, gender, and religious differences as spears and daggers. Today, we must continue connecting our progressive brothers and sisters, engage in courteous debate with our friends and families, plant the seeds, give them time and room enough to grow, but never neglect those ideas. Our ideas will flourish, and we will tend to them. It has been said of our revolution that we are an experiment, or we're chaos, and I say we are necessary. And I'd like to point out that what is chaos and what is experimental, and I'd like to add reckless and irresponsible, is the behaviors and decisions our party leadership has made. You want to talk about experimental? Let's talk about permitting a candidate under 2 FBI investigations to be the presumptive nominee. You want to talk about reckless and irresponsible? To put our party, let alone our country, in such a precarious position? In some polls today, Trump only trails Hillary by only 1%. She can't outpace an idiot. That's not our failing, that's hers. My name is James Bergseid, and I'm happy to be here among you, the citizens of the United States and those fighting for undocumented as well. Every voice living in America must be heard. And this country is aching for somebody to tell them what democracy looks like. So tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Now it's time to show the world what democracy looks like. I urge you to follow me as we march down Cahuenga. I mean that literally, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me.